Another big topic of the day. The least shocking thing you've ever heard in your life. Brown's Twitter is ablaze. Because of something so stupid, right? Again, where the Super Bowl's over, the season's over, we are in pissing distance of the draft. Combine's going on, free agency's coming up, and people are talking about cut candidates. The one name that has unfortunately been brought up, and Tony, I'm going to let you go first on this. Nick Chubb. People are talking about the possibility of Nick Chubb being cut. What do you have to say?
There is no way Nick Chubb is going to be cut from this football team. I don't know who started the rumor. I don't know who's facilitating the rumor for clicks, but if they cut Nick Chubb and you thought January 6th was bad, wait till you
Oh
see
my
what happens in
God.
Cleveland, Ohio. Because the fan base will riot. How do you get rid of one of the greatest players of a generation, possibly the greatest player to ever put on that uniform since this team returned in the 90s? You can't cut Nick Chubb. You have to find a way to keep him on this roster. He's still serviceable. Like I said, you thought January, I'll double down. You thought January 6th was awful. You cut Nick Chubb, and the facility in Berea is going to be insane. There's
Mhm.
just no possible way they can cut Nick Chubb.
No, absolutely. And listen, at the end of the day, this is all fucking bullshit. Like, I'm sorry, but it's all bullshit. Like, the conversation of even a possibility of cutting Nick Chubb, and I should throw this in here first. Some stuff that came out from the Browns. Any conversation's going to stay between him and the front office. Obviously, that's a given. They're doing everything in their power on his recovery. Nothing is definitive about his timeline. They believe he's still a difference maker. Pleased with his run game, or pleased with the run game in his absence, which I find interesting. Lost a lot of the explosive runs without Chubb, and they credit the offensive line and the run scheme for the run game's continued success. Now, there's a lot there. There's a lot of different ways to take that, but first things first, no, the Browns are not cutting Nick Chubb. And if you think the Browns are cutting Nick Chubb, then you're just delusional. I mean, flat out, you're just delusional. Because Tony, I know you weren't there, but I was there for the game where we clinched the playoffs against the Jets, and Nick Chubb came out to smash that guitar. There was a lot of speculation on, is it MGK? Some people thought it was LeBron. I heard Steve Harvey, which was hilarious. I was kind
I
of
heard
hoping
Kid,
for him.
I heard Kid Cudi, I heard MGK, I
Yeah.
heard LeBron. Even though the Lakers were playing that night out in LA,
Hmm.
everyone's like, "Yeah, LeBron's gonna skip the Laker game and come smash a guitar." No, I think it had to be Nick Chubb, and they made the right decision. And the reception he got from the fan base and the look of joy on his face,
Hmm.
I'm sorry, like I will say it again, you can't cut it. There's
Hmm.
no way.
No, and that's exactly what I was about to say. Like that, I've been in that stadium for a couple loud moments, but to see him walk out with put the Batman mask on, like the dude is a one of a kind human being. He's a one of a kind player. He without a doubt is the heart and soul of this team. And listen, I don't care if the Browns and Andrew Berry wants to say that the run game was okay with his absence. It wasn't. It was not at all. And listen, Nick Chubb, he's not going to last forever. This is not a situation where he's going to be forever Cleveland Brown and breaking 60-yard touchdown runs week in and week out. We obviously know that. Um, and I saw on Twitter, Todd Gurley's still in his 20s and he's not even in the league. So,
No,
running back position, it's tough. But here's what I will argue: Nick Chubb went through the same thing at Georgia. Just absolutely got his knee shredded. Did not look like he was going to be able to come back. And guess what? He came back and he's the Nick Chubb that we know now. So, you know, yeah, it's a bit of a concern, but I think Nick Chubb's going to be fine. And another thing, too, odds are they're not going to cut him. They're probably going to end up extending him, if anything. That makes the most sense, more so than just cutting him. Because they can save money if they extend him. They can be doing him a favor by ensuring him a job and money at his position. And it just makes too much sense. So, absolutely not. They're not cutting Nick Chubb. All y'all on Twitter can shut the hell up and calm down just because whoever football on Twitter wants to tell you that Nick Chubb's going to get cut and he's a free agent. He's not. He's not. And that's the reality with a lot of these guys.
Like you said about Gurley, yes, the shelf life of an NFL running back is rather short. And Chubb's not going to be here forever, also true. But now's not the time to say your goodbyes. And if you want to enjoy football, here's my advice. Stay out of Twitter spaces. Stay off of Twitter. Stop following the stupid accounts with blank football in their name because they're just doing it for clicks. They like when Elon sends them a check every month. That's all they think about is money. No, Nick Chubb's not cut. Nick Chubb may not play much this season or play at all this season, but he will be a Cleveland Brown.